Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health and well-being and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions and commemorations. Today, we are commemorating International Tiger Day, which we will be doing at sometime later. Before that, we will complete other commemorations. Today, we are also commemorating National Challenge Champions and Heroes Awareness Day in US, which is observed on July 29th every year in the US. United States. It is a day to honor and recognize the differently abled and their caregivers. It is also a day to put into practice the idea of treating others the way you want to be treated. The idea of this day is to highlight these champions' abilities and not their disabilities. Focus on what is positive in the best we can do for these people. So, Challenge Champions and Heroes is an organization that focuses on physically and mentally disabled people of the world and aims to recognize and honor them. This organization also addresses their caregivers. They call them the heroes because they are the ones who spend countless hours caring for and loving others despite what may be going on in their lives. Challenge Champions and Heroes were founded in 2015. The president and the founder of the organization are Robin A. Loco. The organization highlights the idea that every life is valuable and created for a purpose. Every person has a destiny and purpose to fulfill. They also believe in bringing honor and recognition to these extraordinary people since it will be awaken the gifts and greatness within them. They want to change the ideas that many people do not recognize their value in life. A goal of Challenge Champions and Heroes is the initiative to redefine the word disabled by calling it Challenge Champions. They state that the focus should be on these champions' abilities and not their disabilities. The caregivers of our Challenge Champions are also heroes. These heroes have dedicated their lives to caring and for loving humanity, challenged by the hard life circumstances. They face day by day. One of the organization's future goals is to honor other organizations that seek to help challenge champions and bring education and awareness programs covering human rights and disability freedoms. Today is also commemorated as National Get Gnarly Day in US. which is celebrated on the last Friday of every July. And this year it will be celebrated on July 29. This is a brand new day that has been in existence only since 2016. National Get Gnarly Day offers us opportunity to toss out old ideas and embrace new ones. Unfortunately, we all know that the word gnarly gets a bad rap. Many of us understand gnarly as a word that means bad or dangerous, but it can also mean something exciting. Surfers often use the term to describe the unruly waves that they ride. On this day, challenge yourself to add some gnarliness into everything you do. In 2016, Whirlpool Corporation started a campaign to put some gnarliness into their work as a way to encourage their employees to reach their goals and satisfy customers. The NAR in gnarliness stood for North American region. The campaign turned out to be a great success among the employees, and Whirlpool Corporation decided to share gnarliness by creating National Get Gnarly Day. Whirlpool Corporation had a humble beginning based on a business failure and the vision of one family. In 1908, Lou Upton invested his savings in a venture to manufacture household equipment. However, the company failed to materialize, and Upton was offered the opportunity to select something of value from the failed venture as a return on his investment. He chose the patents on a hand washing machine that he thought might be electrified in future. In 1911, Upton and his uncle Emory patented an electric motor driven wringer washer. They received funding from Lowell Basford and help from Upton's brothers Fred to kickstart the washer for Upton Washing Machine Company. Only a few years later, World War II halted the washer production, and factories were modified to provide components for aircraft and military equipment. In the summer of 1945, Upton Machine Company began producing washers again. This period witnessed an explosive growth that would take the company from a small manufacturer of washers and ironers to a large one with a full line of major home appliances, including the first fully automatic washer and electric dryer. It was only in 1949 the company's name changed to Whirlpool Corporation in recognition of the signature brand. For the first time since its inception, the company achieved $48 million in sales and annual earnings of $3 million in 1951. Today is also commemorated as National Lasagna Day in US. On July 29th, these have both veg and non-vegetarian version, tomato sauce, cheese, tofu or soya and vegetables, all separated by wide flat noodles. Lasagna first showed up in Naples, Italy during the Middle Ages and made it to America in the 19th century as a non-vegetarian of meat version. Since then, Americans have made it all their own. And on this day, head to your favorite Italian restaurant or preheat the oven and make your own with non-veg version with tofu or soya bean chunks, nutmeg. Today is also commemorated as Rain Day in US. There probably would have been no life without rain, and that's why we celebrate Rain Day on July 29. Various people and cultures have celebrated rain and its life-giving power through prayers, arts, and music, folklore, and more. Rain doesn't just water our trees and makes them fresh and green. The first spells of the shower after a long stretch of summer brings us so much joy if you are lucky enough to get some rain on rainy day. Head outside to dance, walk, or sing in the rain. Today is a perfect day to feel grateful for the lovely planet that we live in many miracles. So, Rain Day is celebrated in some way or the other in most cultures in the world, and that is the day that has been celebrated for a long time now. Records show that first Rain Day was celebrated early in 1800s. William Allison, a pharmacist, is the one who should be thanked for creating the much loved Rain Day. Legends has it that Allison had a drugstore located on High Street in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and to him it seemed that every year on July 29, it would rain without fail. The pharmacist grabbed the opportunity and declared July 29 to be celebrated as Rain Day every year. Since then, Allison would also keep a yearly record of the rainfall on the specific day, and later his brother Albert Allison started doing the same in 1920s. The antics of these two brothers reached the offices of the Bryan Daily, and they started recording this mystical event, which kept happening every year. The event probably would have remained small and local if it was not for a newsman from the area. In 1930s, John O'Hara decided that he would send stories about Rain Day to other newspapers. As more and more people found out about Rain Day, the celebrations became widespread too. And today, newspapers and other media outlets often call up those in Venusberg to find out if it is raining on this day. Of course, other people have started celebrating this day in their own ways. A very common way of celebrating Rain Day is by simply learning about rainfall and the importance of it and spreading awareness about rainwater conservation. Today is also commemorated as Wallis and Futuna Territory Day on July 29 in France. In the territory of Wallis and Futuna Islands. This day commemorates the islands becoming a French overseas territory on this day in 1961. Wallis and Futuna, located in the South Pacific, is a French island collectively to the northwest. It is Tuvalu, and to the southwest is Fiji. It has also Tokelau to the northeast and Tonga to the southeast and Samoa to its east. These islands have been a French protectorate since the end of the 19th century. This day is one of the biggest public holidays on the French Pacific Islands of Wallis and Futuna. Today is also commemorated as Cheese Sacrifice Purchase Day in US. The point of this day is to buy cheese specifically to sacrifice it by cutting a piece and putting it on a mouse trap. That way you can get rid your house of mice every year. At least that seems to be the original idea behind it. Nowadays, people use it as something very antiquated since we have many new methods of pest control. Studies show that mice don't even like cheese. So, for those reasons, many have been trying to reinvent this day, what it means to sacrifice cheese. Today is also commemorated as Kher Puja. It is celebrated 2 weeks before Karchi Puja, another popular festival, primarily in the small northeastern Indian state of Tripura. It's a 2.5 day celebrations for worshipping Kher, the guardian deity of Vasudevata, and this year it is celebrated from July 29 to 31. All the banks and government institutions in Agartala, the state capital, are usually closed for the 3-day observance. Residents of the capital are not only required to be at home during the puja, but also desist from any form of merriment. If you ever visited Agartala around July or August, and to your surprise, find the city locked and silent in the morning, you probably have arrived during Kher Puja. We assume that the celebration of Kher Puja began over 5 centuries ago, since it was among the days celebrated by former kings, although there is no documented literature indicating the exact date the holiday began. The newly established Tripura government agreed with the regent of Tripura in 1949 that all pujas, temples, and religious festivals in the state would be sponsored. Because Kher Puja is observed 2 weeks after the celebration of Kachi Puja, which doesn't have a fixed date, it is observed on different dates of the year. The celebration is primarily centered in Agartala and generally takes place from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. On the day of festival, the city's entrance is locked and people from outlying areas are restricted from entering the area. Temporary restrictions are put on lighting fires, wearing shoes, dancing, and other forms of merriment. Any person who fails to observe these regulations is required to pay a fine. And the puja would have to start afresh. To prevent breaking the rules, the elderly, weak, and pregnant women are moved to nearby villages. The royal place of Tripura has long served as a principal site of the celebration. The Chantal, the Chantai head priest takes precedence over any other authority on this day. A large piece of bamboo is curved into a symbolic representation of care and then is swung around at such a speed as to produce sound. This celebration is declared upon a loud bang early in the morning and is closed by the same sound. Today is also commemorated as International Tiger Day, which is celebrated annually on July 9th. This tiger the tiger enjoys the reputation of being the largest of the world's big cats. A tiger can be easily identified with its distinctive orange and black stripes on its face and body. International Tiger Day is celebrated across the globe so that all of us can raise awareness for tiger conservation. The day aims to build a worldwide system that will be dedicated to protecting tigers and their natural habitats. A safe and thriving habitat for tigers means that we conserve other species and our forests too. Through International Tiger Day, we work for a future where humans and tigers can cohabit peacefully. International Tiger Day was first celebrated in 2010 after it was found that 97% of all wild tigers had disappeared in the last century, with about only 3,000 of them remaining. It's not news that tigers are on the brink of extinction, and International World Tiger Day aims to halt the numbers from worsening. Habitat loss, climate change, hunting, and poaching are only some of the factors that are responsible for the decline in the tiger population. Along with the preservation of these species, the day also aims to protect and expand their habitats. Many international organizations such as WWF, the IFAW, and the Smithsonian Institute have also observed International Tiger Day. With the loss of habitat and climate change, tigers are increasingly coming into conflict with humans. Poaching and illegal trade industry is also a very serious threat that wild tigers face. Demand for tiger bone, skin, and other body parts is leading to increase the cases of poaching and trafficking. This is resulting in localized extinctions which have made revival of the tiger population next to impossible. Another threat that has negatively impacted the tiger population is the loss of habitat. All across the world, we are witnessing a loss of tiger habitats due to access routes, human settlements, timber logging, plantation, and agriculture. In fact, only about 7% of the original tiger habitats are still intact today. Experts also worry that the lack of genetic diversity among tigers also can lead to inbreeding in small populations. The ever increasing habitat loss means that the conflicts between tigers and humans are on the rise. Tigers may wander into the human population, which is worrying for the people as well as these majestic cats. India launches Project Tiger to revive the tiger population. Project TX2 in 19 Project Tiger in 1973. Project TX2, 13 tiger range countries commit to TX2 to double wild tiger numbers by 2022. In 2010, IUCN recognizes the continental tiger and the Sunda Island tiger as tiger subspecies. Two tiger subspecies are listed in 2017. The World WWF aims to double the number of wild tigers in 2022, which also marks the year of tiger. So the International Tiger Day is celebrated on July 29th every year to raise awareness and support for the tiger conservation issues. India currently hosts the largest tiger population. The Nagarjuna Sagar Sri Salem Tiger Reserve is the largest in India with an area of 3,728 square kilometers. So not everyone is aware of the threats that wild tigers face. You can raise awareness by sharing videos, infographics, and links to suitable content to get more people involved in the cause. Adopting a tiger can be a huge boost to the WWF and the work that it is doing, World Wildlife Fund. They help fund projects that work with the local communities working to save tigers and also take strict actions against poaching and unlawful trading. You can donate to charities that work for the well-being of tigers. Carry your good work forward by your social media presence to urge your friends to donate to similar charities as well. A tiger roar can be heard from 2 miles away and is impressively loud. Tigers can move at a speed of 40 miles per hour and they are quite fast too. The average tiger weighs around 800 pounds. They are the world's largest cats. Hunting takes a while to learn. A cub can only hunt on its own after turning 2 or 3 years. India has the largest tiger population. Up to 70% of the world tigers population is in India. International Tiger Day aims to strike a delicate balance between humans and tigers, since we are all dependent on each other in more ways than one. The day makes us realize that a healthy tiger population also means a well balanced ecosystem. It celebrates our diverse ecosystem. Tigers are now an endangered species, and we must all do our bit to protect these magnificent beasts. While conservation efforts are carried out all year long, International Tiger Day reminds us to get involved in the cause. It protects an endangered animal. Despite the fact that humans are largely responsible for the dwindling tiger population, it is also true that there are a bunch of passionate wildlife enthusiasts who are trying their best to make the planet more habitable for the tigers. International Tiger Day also celebrates this unique bond between tigers and humans. The National Tiger Conservation Authority (NTCA) has been constituted under Section 38L of 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972, as per the Section 38L subsection 2 of the said Act. The authority consists of the minister in charge of the Ministry of Environment and Forest as chairperson, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Environment and Forest as vice chairperson, three members of Parliament, secretary, Ministry of Environment and Forest, and other members. The authority derives its power from Section 38O of 1 of WLPA 1972 and functions under the guidance of chairperson, vice chairperson, and members. The National Tiger Conservation Authority (NTCA) is a statutory body under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, constituted under enabling provisions of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as amended in 2006 for strengthening tiger conservation as per powers and functions assigned to it under the said Act. NTCA has been fulfilling its mandate within the ambit of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 for strengthening tiger conservation in the country by retaining an oversight through advisories, normative guidelines based on appraisal of tiger status, ongoing conservation initiatives, and recommendations of specially constituted committee. The Project Tiger is a centrally sponsored scheme, CSS, of Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, providing funding support to tigers range states for in situ conservation of tigers in designated tiger reserves and has put the endangered tiger on a assured path of recovery by saving it from extinction, as revealed by the recent findings of the All India Tiger Estimation using the refined methodology. The objectives of the NTCA are providing statutory authority to Project Tiger so that compliance of its directives become legal, fostering accountability of center state in management of tiger reserves by providing a basis for MOU with states with our federal structure, providing for an oversight by Parliament addressing livelihood interest of local people in areas surrounding tiger reserves. Its powers and functions include of the National Tiger Reserve Authority as prescribed under Section 380 of 1 and 2 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as amended in 2006 are to approve the tiger conservation plan prepared by the state government under Section 38, 380, 1A of this Act, evaluate and assess various aspects of sustainable ecology and any ecologically unsustainable land use, such as mining, industry, and other projects within the tiger reserves, lay down normative standards for tourism activities and guidelines for Project Tiger from time to time for tiger conservation in the buffer and core areas of tiger reserves and ensure their due compliance. Provide for management focus and measure for addressing conflicts of men and wild animal and to emphasize on coexistence in the forest areas outside the national parks, sanctuaries, or tiger reserve in the working plan code. Provide information on protection measures, including future conservation plans, estimation of population of tiger and its natural prey species, status of habitats, disease surveillance, mortality survey, patrolling, reports on untoward happenings, and such other management aspects as it may deem fit, including future plant conservation. Approve, coordinate research and monitoring on tiger, co-predators, prey habitat, related ecological and socio-economic parameters, and their evaluation. Ensure that tiger reserves and areas linking one protected area or tiger reserve with another protected area or tiger reserve are not diverted for ecologically unsustainable uses except in public interest and with the approval of the National Board of the Wildlife and on the advice of the Tiger Conservation Authority. Facilitate and support the tiger reserve management in the state for biodiversity conservation initiatives through eco-development and people's participation as per approved management plans and to support similar initiatives in adjoining areas consistent with the central and state laws. Ensure critical support, including scientific, information technology, and legal support for the better implementation of the Tiger Conservation Plan. Facilitate ongoing capacity building program for skill development of officers and staff of the Tiger Reserve and perform such other functions as may be necessary to carry out the purposes of this Act with regard to the conservation of tigers and their habitat. The Tiger Conservation Authority may, in the exercise of its powers and performance of its functions under this chapter, issue directions in writing to any person, officer, or authority for the protection of tiger or tiger reserves, and such person, officer, or authority shall be bound to comply with the directions. Current activities include providing central assistance to states under the ongoing centrally sponsored scheme of Project Tiger for Tiger Reserve for activities recurring, non-recurring, as reflected in the annual plan of operations of tiger reserves based on the tiger conservation plans is an important activity. This inter alia includes protection, habitat amelioration, day-to-day monitoring, eco-development for local people in buffer areas, voluntary relocation of people from core tiger habitats, and addressing human-wildlife conflicts within the ambit of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and guidelines of Project Tiger, National Tiger Conservation Authority. The NTCA Project Tiger also conducts the country-level assessment of the status of tiger, co-predators, prey, and habitat once in 4 years, using the refined methodology as approved by the Tiger Task Force. Tiger protection and anti-poaching operations. The illegal demand for body parts and derivatives of tiger outside the country continues to be a serious threat to wild tigers. Therefore, protection is accorded topmost priority in Project Tiger NTCA. The states are encouraged in an ongoing manner through the NTCA headquarters as well as its regional offices, while issuing alerts, besides closely working with the CBI, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, and the police departments. The following actions are taken in this context: alerting the states as and when required, transmitting backward and forward linkages to information relating to poachers, advertising the states for combating forest flood to check snares, traps, performing supervisory field visits through the National Tiger Conservation Authority and its regional offices, providing assistance to states for anti-poaching operations, using information technology for improved surveillance EI system using thermal camera launched in orbit, launching Tiger Reserve level monitoring using camera trap to keep a photo ID database of individual tigers, preparing a national database of individual tiger photo captures to establish linkage with body parts seized or dead tigers, assisting states to refine protection oriented monitoring through monitoring system for tigers intensive protection and ecological status, in short known as M stripes, providing grant through NTCA for patrolling in tiger rich sensitive forest areas outside tiger reserves, assisting states to deploy local workforce in a big way for protection to complement efforts of field staff. In all, approximately 24 lakh man days are generated annually with 50% central assistance amounting to around rupees 24 crores, excluding matching 50% share given by states under the Project Tiger. In case of northeastern states, their share is 90 to 10%, that is 90% central assistance and 10% matching share given by the states. Many local tribes constitute such local workforce besides non-tribals. Example, Baigas, Gonds in Madhya Pradesh, Gonds in Maharashtra, Chenchus in Andhra Pradesh, Sholingas in Karnataka, Gujars in Uttarakhand, and Irulas in Tamil Nadu, to name a few. The deployment of such local tribes have been fostered, encouraged in the last 2 years, supporting states for raising, arming, and deploying the Special Tiger Protection Force. Important thrust areas include stepped up protection, networking surveillance, voluntary relocation of people from core critical tiger habitat to provide inviolate space for tiger, strengthening of protection infrastructure and habitat management as per tiger conservation plans of tiger reserves, use of information technology in wildlife crime prevention, addressing human wildlife conflicts, addressing the issue of resource dependency of local people through sustainable livelihood options, capacity building of frontline personnel, developing a national repository of camera trap tiger photographs with IDs, active management for rescuing moving tigers from human dominated landscape, conducting the next round of the country level assessment of tiger co-predators, prey besides habitat status monitoring, conducting the next round of independent management effectiveness evaluation, strengthening the regional offices of the NTCA, declaring and consolidating new tiger reserves, fostering awareness for eliciting local public support, fostering research. Due to concerted efforts under this project, Tiger, at present, India has distinction of having the maximum number of tigers in the world at 2,967 and SE range 2,603 to 3,346 as per 2018 assessment. When compared to other tiger range countries, tigers were observed to be increasing at a rate of 6% per annum in India when consistently sampled areas were compared from 2006 to 2018. So the government of India has taken a pioneering initiative for conserving its national animal, the tiger, by launching the Project Tiger in 1973. From 9 tiger reserves since its formative years, the Project Tiger coverage has increased to 51 at present, spread out in 18 of our tiger range states. This amounts to around 2.23% of the geographical area of our country. The tiger reserves are constituted on a core buffer strategy. The core areas have the legal status of a national park or a sanctuary, whereas the buffer or peripheral areas are a mix of forest and non-forest land managed as multiple use areas. The Project Tiger aims to foster an exclusive tiger agenda in the core areas of Tiger Reserve with an inclusive people-oriented agenda in the buffer. Project Tiger is an ongoing centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, providing central assistance to the tiger states for tiger conservation in designated tiger reserves. The National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA, is a statutory body of the ministry with an overarching supervisory coordination role performing functions as provided in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The National Tiger Conservation Authority is a statutory body of the ministry with an overarching supervisory coordination role, performing functions as provided in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The ADG, Project Tiger, and his officers also serve the NTCA. The regional offices of the NTCA have been recently established at Bengaluru, Gauhati, and Nagpur, each headed by an IGF and assisted by AIG. So, there are various tiger reserves declared so far in India. A brief note we can see. So, ecotourism in tiger reserves, as already mentioned, ecotourism in India tiger reserves organizes the conservation of biodiversity with responsible tourism practices, aiming to foster environmental awareness and local community engagement. The nation boasts several renowned tiger reserves. Such as Ratnambore and Jim Corbett National Park, drawing nature enthusiasts and wildlife lovers from across the globe. Ecotourism in these reserves emphasizes low impact activities like guided nature walks, and safari tours promoting a deeper understanding of the delicate ecosystem supporting these magnificent big cats. Strict regulations are in place to ensure minimal disruption to the natural habitat, safeguarding the vulnerable tiger population. Revenue generated from ecotourism contributes to conservation efforts, reinforcing the significance of these majestic creatures in India's ecological balance. Moreover, community involvement provides sustainable livelihoods for local residents, fostering a sense of responsibility and shared commitment to preserving the rich biodiversity within these tiger reserves. As ecotourism flourishes, it serves as a model for global conservation efforts, demonstrating the viability of coexisting with protecting endangered species. So, we have so many tiger reserves like Achnakmar in Chhattisgarh, Amrabad in Telangana, Annamalai in Tamil Nadu, Bandhavgarh in Madhya Pradesh, Bandipur in Karnataka, Corbett in Uttarakhand, Dampa in Mizoram, Kali in Karnataka, Kana Madhya Pradesh, Kaziranga, Assam, Manas in Assam, Melghat in Maharashtra, Mudumalai in Tamil Nadu, Nagarjun Sagar, Srisailam, which is the largest tiger reserve in the world and also in India, in Andhra Pradesh, Nagarhole in Karnataka, Nameri in Assam, Namdapa in Arunachal Pradesh, Navigon Nazriya in Maharashtra, Pake in Arunachal Pradesh, Palamau in Jharkhand, Pana in Madhya Pradesh, Parambikulam in Kerala, Pench in Madhya Pradesh, Pench in Maharashtra, Periyar in Kerala, Rajaji in Uttarakhand, Sayadri in Maharashtra, Sanjay in Madhya Pradesh, Sariska in Rajasthan, Satkosia in Odisha, Satpura in Madhya Pradesh, Similipal in Odisha, Sundarban in West Bengal, Tadopa Andari in Maharashtra, USTR in Chhattisgarh, Valmiki in Bihar. There are total 55 tiger reserves in various other states as well. And as per the section 38, B3 of the Wildlife Protection Act, the state government shall prepare a tiger conservation plan, including staff development and deployment plan for the proper management of each area referred to in subsection 1, so as to ensure protection of tiger reserve and providing tiger reserve specific habitat inputs for maintaining a viable population of tigers, co-predators, and prey animals, ecologically compatible land uses in tiger reserves, and areas linking one protected area, PA, with another protected area or tiger reserve for providing dispersal habitat and corridors, forestry operations of regular forest divisions, and so on. Coming to Project Tiger budget, the budget and expenditure details of centrally sponsored scheme CSS Project Tiger for the period of 2016 to 2020-21. The allotted budget and the expenditure. In 2021, allotted budget was 195 and expenditure was 194.5 crores. In 2019 and 20, allotted budget was 282.57 and the expenditure was 282.53 crores. In 2018 and 19, allotted budget was 350 crores and the expenditure was 323.44 crores. In 2017 and 18, the budget was 345 crores and the expenditure is also 345 crores. In 2016 and 17, the expenditure, the allotted budget was 370 and the expenditure was 348.74 crores. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Let's observe a minute of silence, prayer, meditation for the global peace and harmony across the world. For leaving and closing today's sessions. Thank you everyone for joining us today's sessions. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. There is an important announcement for everyone. As you all know that we are commemorating breastfeeding week in August every year, first week of August, we are having international conference from August 1st to August 11th. So we request everyone to enroll yourself, register, and also invite your friends, colleagues, scholars, so that we all can contribute to the breastfeeding awareness and campaign. And there is also another conference that is every year we are celebrating International Independence Day and Republic Day celebrations, online and offline. As you all know, this year also on August 15th, we are having an international celebrations online as well as offline. So we request everyone to register and participate proactively. And you can also make presentations on national movement, freedom movements, social workers, social reformers, freedom fighters, and glorious, past, present, and future, and various programs and policies, and so on, anything related to that commemoration. So we invite you all. The registration forms are available on the website and it will be circulated soon. So we request everyone to quickly, register and also share so that it reaches more people. So thank you once again, everyone. Take care. Good night.